We continue now at the top of Daf Yud Aleph Amid Beis Maseches Avodah Zarah. This is Avodah Zarah Daf 11b. On the previous Amud, the Gemara said if a Jewish king dies, we're allowed to burn his possessions. That's not considered Darchei Amori, like the ways of the idol worshippers. And the Gemara said that what kind of items do we burn? So we burn items that are like Klei Tashmisho, the vessels that he uses. The Gemara asked, we don't burn anything else, but it says we also burn animals. The Gemara said, well, the horse that he rides on, that's similar to Klei Tashmisho. The Gemara says, well, what about kosher animals? Doesn't it say by the kosher animals that we're allowed to remove the hooves as long as it doesn't cause the animal to be a treifa? And the Gemara here continues and describes Haminasher parsosem min harkuvu lamata. As long as you damage the leg from below the knee, so then that doesn't render the animal a treifa. But in any case, you see here we're talking about a kosher animal that you're also seems to be we're destroying those as well. And again, the Gemara answers along the same lines. Tir Gemara Rapapa answers be'egla hamosheches bekoron. We're talking here about a calf that would pull the wagon of the king. So that also is like Klei Tashmisho. Rashi says be'egla hamosheches bekoron sheyoshe bo hamelech. We're talking again where the king would sit in a particular wagon. Dahainu Klei Tashmisho. Essentially, that's the same as Klei Tashmisho. We'll read back one Rashi as well. Min harkuva lamata, from the knee and below. Aval min harkuva lamala, now above the knee, treifa. That would render the animal a treifa. Alma. So we see mido aser letarfa bebehema tahora askin. You see, if we're talking about treifa, it must be we're talking about a kosher animal. Tahora my Klei Tashmishika. How is an animal that's a kosher animal a Klei Tashmish? And again, the Gemara said it could be. Let's say it's pulling the wagon. And the Gemara continues at the two dots. The Mishnah said Yom Tiglachas Zakano, another holiday for the Ovdei Avodah Zarah, was the day that he shaves his beard. The Gemara says, they asked the following question, Hechi Katani, how exactly do you read the Mishnah? Is it Yom Tiglachas Zakano V'hanochas Bluriso? Is it the day of the shaving of the beard when they would leave the Bluriso? Bluriso again refers to the fact that they had a lock of hair that they left, that they did not cut. So is that what we're talking about? Oh, Dilmar, maybe Yom Tiglachas Zakano V'havaras Bluriso. We're talking about the day when he would shave his beard. And then also, there was also a day where they would remove that lock of hair that was in the back. And Rashi explains, Yom Tiglachas Zakano V'hanachas Bluriso means Yom Shemegaleach Zakano V'chein Bo Bayom Hanachas Bluriso. On the day that they would shave, they would leave that piece of hair. Maybe that's what the Mishnah means. Or V'havaras Bluriso. Could we were talking about also the day when that was removed, that piece of hair in the back. L'sof Shana Shemegaleach Osa Bloris Levada. Every year they would remove that piece of hair that was in the back of their head. So are we talking about that? And the Gemara says, Tashma, come in here, the following proof. In reality, it can be read both ways. We're going to have brises in both directions. The Tanya, we learned in a brisa, the Tanya Tarvaya, both of them are taught in a brisa. One brisa says, Yom Tiglachas Zakano V'hanochas Bluriso. It says, one brisa says the day when they shaved the beard and then they left that piece of hair in the back. And then another one is Yom Tiglachas Zakano V'havaras Bluriso, the day when they shaved the beard, and the day V'havaras Bluriso, the day when they actually removed that piece of hair in the back. And Rashi says, the Tanya Tarvayo Yom Tiglachas Zakano V'hanochas Bluriso, Yom Tiglachas Zakano V'hanochas Bluriso, and Yom Tiglachas Zakano V'havaras Bluriso. We have one that says Hanocha when they left it, and one that says Havara when they cut it off. V'tardi Masnisaninu, these are just two separate brises. V'lav Gave Hadadi Tanyalu, they're not next to each other, and so you see you can essentially have both ideas. And the Gemara continues, Amar Rav Yehuda Mar Shmuel. Rav Yehuda says that Shmuel says, Oda Cheres yesh lahem baromi achas l'shivim shana. There was another holiday that the Romans had, and it was a holiday that they had once every 70 years. Mevi'an adam shalim u'markivan oso al adam chigar. They would do as follows. They would take a person who was whole, so to speak, and they would place him, they would ride him upon someone who was lame, who was not able to walk properly, somebody who was injured. U'malbishan oso big day adam harishon, and then this person, this is all going to be symbolic, as if Esav is riding on top of Yaakov. The Adam Chiger is referring to Yaakov because he had an injury by his thigh. So it's Esav on top of Yaakov. That's what the Romans were saying. Umalbishan also big day Adam Harishon, and they gave him the begadim of Adam Harishon. These were the begadim which Rashi says over here, Shaladam Harishon vehin bigdei chamudos shahayu Esav. Those eventually were the bigdei chamudos that were given to Esav. And umanichan lo barosho karkifalo shel Rabbi Yishmael, and they put on his head, it was essentially the face. They took the face of Rabbi Yishmael. Rabbi Yishmael Kohen Gadol, he was killed by the Romans, and he had a beautiful face, and so they cut off his face, and they would put that on almost like a mask. And Rashi explains, karkifalo shel Rabbi Yishmael Kohen Gadol, he was Rabbi Yishmael Kohen Gadol, umeharuge malchusay, he was killed by the Romans. Umitoch yafyo nichnas belev bas Caesar, because he was so beautiful looking, so the daughter of the Caesar, she saw saw him, v'hifshit or panav, she like took off his face, v'chanta ba'farsamon, and she was able to preserve it, shetei mekuyemes v'lo yishtana, that it shouldn't change. And Rashi says, v'adayin munach begins Romi, it's actually still stored in the storehouses of Rome. And the Gemara continues, v'talu le b'tzavari, and they hung around his neck. This is again around the neck of the Adam Sholem. They hung around his neck, miskal reish zuz, the piece that they hung gold that weighed 200 zuz. U'mechapen es hashvakim binach, they would cover all the marketplaces with enach, which is a certain kind of precious stone. U'machrizin lefanav, and they would announce in front of him, sach kirei pelester. The calculation of the master, referring to Yaakov, is plester. It's fraudulent, meaning his calculation for the redemption, it's incorrect. Achua de Morana, the brother of our master, again that refers to Yaakov, he's the brother of Esav, Zaifana, he's a forger, and the Chami, the one who sees the celebration, sees it, and Udalo Chami Lo Chami, if he doesn't see it, he's not going to see it, because again, it would only happen once every 70 years. And Maya Hani L'Ramah B'Rama Usei, what did it help that the Ramai, that refers to Yaakov, that Yaakov was a cheat, what did it help him to cheat? Ula Zaifana B'Zaifanusei, what did it help him to be a forger? Umesaimin Bahachi, and then they would finish as follows: Va'ila Dain, woe is to this one. That means to say, woe is to Esav, Kad Yaakov Dain, when this one will rise, meaning when Yaakov will rise. And the Gemara continues, Amar Rav Ashi says, Hechshilon piyam l'rishoyim, really, their mouths misled them. Because Yamru Zaifana Achua de Morana Kedukamri, if they would have said that the brother of the master is a forger, then it would have been what they were trying to say. But Hashta de Amri de Morana Zaifana, when they're saying the phrase, the way that they're phrasing it is de Morana Zaifana, what they're actually saying is Morana Gufe Zaifana, who that our master is the one who's a forger. That's actually what it sounds like they are saying. And the Gemara continues, Vitana Didan, now our Tana, my time lo kachashiv lo lahai, why not count this holiday? This is also a holiday of the idol worshippers. And the Gemara continues and answers, the Isa b'chol shasa v'shasa kachashiv, our Tana is only listing the holidays that happen every year, the Lesa b'chol shasa v'shasa lo kachashiv, but if it doesn't happen every year, the Tana is not listing those holidays. And the Gemara continues, Hani Deromoi, those holidays that we just listed, those are all Roman holidays. Udeparsoimai, what are the names of the Persian holidays? And the Gemara says, Mutardi, Vituriski, Muharniki, Umoharin. The Gemara says those are the names of the Persian holidays. And the Gemara says, Hani de Parsoyu de Romoi, so that's the Persian and the Roman holidays. De Bavloimai, what are the Babylonian holidays? The Gemara says, Muharniki, Vaknise, Bechanuni, Va'eser Ba'adar. And the first three over here are just the names of the various holidays, again, of the Babylonians, and Eser Ba'adar, that refers to the 10th of Adar. And the Gemara continues, Amar Rav Chanan bar Rav Chisda Amar Rav. Rav Chanan bar Rav Chisda says that Rav says, V'yamri lo, some have the version Amar Rav Chanan bar Rava Amar Rav, that it's Rav Chanan bar Rava says that Rav says, Chamisha bote avodas kochavim kivu and hein, there are 5 areas of worship of the idol worshippers, and Elu hein, and they are as follows, Beis Baal beBavel, Beis Nevo beKursi, Tarasa shebemefeg, Tzrifa shebeAshkelon, and Nishra shebeAravia. These are the names of the various, again, areas of idol worship that are in these various places. So you have Beis Baal in Bavel, you have Beis Nevo in Kursi, Taras is in Mefeg, Tzrifa is in Ashkelon, Nishra is in Aravia. And the Gemara continues, Kiyasa Rav Dimi, when Rav Dimi came, Hosifu alei, and they added on them Yurid shebe'in Bechi. Another one was Yurid shebe'in Bechi, and Nidvcha shebe'ako, and Nidvcha in Ako. And the Gemara says, Ika de'amri, there are those that say Nisbra shebe'ako, is Nisbra in Ako. And the Gemara continues, Rav Dimi min Nahardoi, Masni Ibcha. Rav Dimi from Nahardoi, he had it in reverse, Yurid shebe'ako, and Nidvcha shebe'in Bechi. Yurid is in Ako, and Nidvcha is in Ein Bechi. And the Gemara continues, Amar le Rav Chanan bar Rav Chisda le Rav Chisda. Rav Chanan bar Rav Chisda said to Rav Chisda, Mai kavun hein, what does it mean that these are fixed? Amar le said to him, Hachi Amar avua de'imech, this is what the father of your mother said, Kavun hein liolam, it means to say that they're fixed, they're established forever. Tadira kula shasa palchi lahu, that it means to say consistently the entire year they worship in these areas. And Rashi explains, Kivuan again fixed, Ulakamon Meforesh, and further on the Gemara will explain what we just read. Kivuan Kol Hashana, Shekol Yemos Hashana, Osin Ovdeim Yored. It means in these areas, the people actually worship every day. Every day is a holiday. Umakrivin Zavachim, they bring sacrifices. Vasur B'masu V'matan Liolam. Therefore it's usher to do business with them all the time. And the Gemara continues, Amar Shmuel. Shmuel says, Bagola in the exile, Eino Asra Yom Edom Bilvad. The only time it's usher to do business with them is on the day of the actual holiday. This was actually mentioned earlier. And the Gemara continues and asks, V'yom Edom nami miyasr, but even on the day of the holiday, is that really forbidden? Rav Yehuda shara leila Rav Bruna l'zavune chamra, but Rav Yehuda allowed Rav Bruna to sell them wine, ul Rav Gidel l'zavune chitin, and Rav Gidel, he was allowed to sell them wheat, b'chag sedetai, even if it was the holiday of the Arab merchants. And the Gemara continues and answers, Shani chag sedetai, it's different, the holiday of the Arab merchants, to lo kaviyah, that doesn't have a set day, and therefore the prohibition did not apply then. And the Gemara continues with the Mishnah, Ir sheyesh ba avodas kochav. Let's say you have a city with avodah zara, so chutz lo mutter. So if it's outside of the city, let's say there's a holiday within the city, the people of the city celebrate it, but outside of the city, it's going to be mutter to do business with them. Hayachutz lo avodas kochav. Let's say this holiday of idol worship is outside of the city, so tocha lo mutter. So inside the city is going to be mutter. And the Mishnah continues and asks, Mahu leilech l'sham. Now, what about walking there? Let's say it's a particular day that this city is doing some kind of worship of avodah zara. You want to go there to talk to someone over there. Is that mutter? And the Mishnah says, Bizman shaderech miyuchedes la'oso mokam. If the only path that place is going, if it's clear that you're going to that place, so then asr, it's forbidden. However, v'im hoya yachol halech bo l'makam acher. But if on the road you're taking, you could be theoretically, you could go somewhere else. So mutter, then it's going to be mutter. And the Gemara says, Hechi dami chutzala, what's considered to be outside of the city? Meaning, let's say you have some kind of a marketplace outside of the city. How far outside of the city does it have to be considered outside of the city that you could do business with those people in the marketplace? And the Gemara says, Amr Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish, Mishum Rabbi Chanina, Reish Lakish says in the name of Rabbi Chanina, could go in Ataluza Shalaza, like the marketplace. It was the animal marketplace that was right outside of Aza. It wasn't any real distance from Aza. It was right outside of Aza. That would be sufficient. And the Gemara continues, Vika Diamri, there are those that say, Boy Minei Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish, May Rabbi Chanina, Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish, asked Rabbi Chanina, Ataluza Shalaza Ma, what about the marketplace of Aza? It's very close to Aza. Is that sufficient? Is that enough that you can do business with them since it's outside of the city? Amar Lei said to him, Lo halachta l'tzur miyamecha, you didn't go to Tzur in all of your days, V'ra'isa Yisrael v'ovid kochavim, and you would see a Jew and an ovid kochavim, and we will continue with this discussion in the next video on Daf Yud Beis Amud Aleph.